Cam Skattebo has NFL legends losing their minds right now. From Rob Gronkowski outright saying,
I like that Skattebo guy.
I'm not an Arizona State fan. Obviously, that's our rival going to the University of Arizona.
to Shannon Sharpe praising his raw power, and Tiki Barber admitting defenses literally fear tackling him. In this video, we're breaking down what NFL legends are saying about Cam Skattebo and why he's quickly becoming unstoppable. Terrell Owens. When T.O. speaks on a running back, you better listen. And after watching Cam Skattebo's Peach Bowl performance on January 1st, 2025 against Texas, where this man rushed for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, caught 5 passes for 82 yards and a score, and threw a 22-yard touchdown pass, Owens had seen enough. He hopped on X and declared, "I've been seeing snippets of this kid the last couple of years, and after today, I am a Cam Skattebo fan. He's a dog. Respectfully, he's the white version of beast mode." Now that is high praise from a man who caught passes from legends and knows what unstoppable looks like. Owens recognized Skattebo's long-term potential, noting he'd been watching him for years, not just a flash-in-the-pan reaction. The dog label in NFL culture means relentless effort, toughness, and that competitive edge that separates the greats from the goods. But that Marshawn Lynch comparison, that's generational talk right there. Beast Mode was known for his physicality, low center of gravity, and ability to break tackles, traits Skattebo mirrored at Arizona State and brought straight to the New York Giants as a 6th-round steal. When the Giants drafted him 199th overall, Owens' endorsement amplified his visibility, framing him as a potential NFL star with that rare combination of power and playmaking ability. And wouldn't you know it, Skattebo vindicated T.O.'s words by becoming a culture changer for the Giants before that devastating ankle injury. But Owens wasn't the only legend who couldn't keep Skattebo's name out of his mouth. Rob Gronkowski. Now Rob Gronkowski, 4-time Super Bowl champion, party animal, and one of the most dominant tight ends to ever do it, had every reason not to praise Cam Skattebo. Why? Because Gronk is an Arizona Wildcats fan, and Skattebo played for their hated rivals, the Arizona State Sun Devils. But when greatness is undeniable, even rivalry takes a back seat. Gronkowski went on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams and admitted something that probably hurt his Wildcat soul to say.
I like that Skattebo guy.
I'm not an Arizona State fan. Obviously, that's our rival going to the University of Arizona. But when I watched Arizona State play last year, I think I almost became an Arizona State fan because of Cam Skattebo. I was literally jaw dropped every single time I watched him carry the ball. I love his style. I love how he plays. And that just shows when you have a great player out in the field, a guy that just loves to play football, is when you're becoming a fan of your rival because of someone on that team.
He plays it tough, plays it hard. I've heard he's loud in the weight room. He's definitely a bro.
The energy and relentless approach Gronk mentioned, that defined Skattebo's college career at Arizona State, where he rushed for 1,711 yards and 21 touchdowns in 2024, and it carried straight into the NFL. His low center of gravity, contact balance, and willingness to seek out defenders made him a tackle-breaking machine. As a player known for his own high-energy physical style, Gronkowski recognized a kindred spirit in Skattebo, someone who plays with that infectious intensity that elevates everyone around him. And when you're a 6th-round pick earning praise from a future Hall of Famer who's supposed to hate your college team, you know you've got something special. Speaking of Hall of Famers with strong opinions, let's talk about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe, 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame tight end, and co-host of the Nightcap podcast, is not one to sugarcoat anything. So when he watched Cam Skattebo's violent running style on October 20th, 2025, just days after Skattebo bulldozed the Philadelphia Eagles for 3 touchdowns, Sharpe delivered praise wrapped in a stark warning. He analyzed footage of Skattebo's hard-nosed run against the Denver Broncos and said,
Skattebo gonna have to understand, Ocho, you can't run over everybody, or you'll have no memory by the time you're 25. I understand that. Look, everybody to play in the NFL, everybody have a certain level of toughness. Now, I ain't telling you what somebody told me. I'm telling you what I know.
Would you say,
you don't have to prove how tough you are. It's okay.
Oh, you say you can't do what?
Hey, he ain't gonna be able to remember his name at 25. He keep on trying to headhunt people. But look, they found their quarterback. They've identified their quarterback, and he was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Sharpe acknowledged Skattebo's physical dominance. The man runs through defenders with that Marshawn Lynch-like ferocity, while cautioning him about longevity. Through 7 games, Skattebo had racked up 410 rushing yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 207 receiving yards, and 2 receiving scores, averaging 4.6 yards per carry and converting 8 of 10 3rd-and-1 attempts. That's unstoppable efficiency in short yardage situations. But Sharpe, who played 14 brutal seasons and understands the toll of physicality, emphasized the importance of selective application of that violence. And speaking of the Giants, their own legend had plenty to say about Skattebo's impact. Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber is the New York Giants' all-time leading rusher with 10,449 career yards, a 2-time Pro Bowler, and a man who knows what it takes to carry a franchise on your back. So when he praised Cam Skattebo on his WFAN radio show after the rookie's 3-touchdown explosion against the Eagles, it carried generational weight. Barber exclaimed, "He's made the Eagles quit. I love the punishing identity he brings to this Giants run game." And he wasn't done. Tiki elaborated that Skattebo's attitude is one of the main things. Doesn't matter if you're 6'6" or you're a safety. It's a price to pay when you're going to tackle Cam Skattebo. As a Giants legend who defined their early 2000s resurgence, Barber framed Skattebo as a throwback to that gritty, run-heavy identity the franchise had lost in recent years. The endorsement boosted Skattebo's fan-favorite status and validated the 6th-round pick as a potential heir to Barber's legacy. But it wasn't just retired legends who recognized Skattebo's dominance. Current players felt it firsthand. Demario Davis. Demario Davis is a 36-year-old linebacker for the New Orleans Saints, 6-time Pro Bowler, defensive anchor, and a man with over 1,300 career tackles who's earned legendary status through consistency and leadership. So when he was mic'd up during the Giants' Week 5 game on October 5th, 2025, his interactions with Cam Skattebo revealed mutual respect wrapped in competitive fire. After watching Skattebo's squirmy, hard-hitting runs on the sideline with teammate Carl Granderson, Davis laughed and said,
"Hey, 44 like a bad little kid. He just like a little bad kid."
But here's where it gets spicy. On the field, Davis stood over Skattebo after a tackle and barked, "What you think this is? This is a grown man game," only for the rookie to fire back defiantly. Post-game, Davis embraced him and said, "You've got to talk trash. That's how you're supposed to play. I got much respect for you, dog. Keep hunting." That "keep hunting" is veteran code for recognizing a peer, rare for a rookie, and it validated Skattebo's fearless approach. And that fearless approach caught the attention of another NFL legend turned media personality. Chad Ochocinco. Chad Ochocinco, 6-time Pro Bowl wide receiver, touchdown, celebration innovator, and now co-host of the Nightcap podcast alongside Shannon Sharpe, has always had an eye for explosive talent. On the January 2nd, 2025 episode of Nightcap, just one day after Skattebo's Peach Bowl masterpiece, Ocho delivered a direct shout-out to the running back with that characteristic enthusiasm. He said,
"Cam Skattebo, I know you probably gonna see this. I know you probably watching the show. Listen, if you don't see it, I know my son gonna let you know. Boy, you the real deal, boy. You hear me? He a senior, huh?
Yeah, I think so. He's a senior.
Yeah. Well, you know where you belong? You belong. He run the ball like he belong to play. He's supposed to play for the Ravens or the Browns."
Now that is what I call instant validation. Ochocinco's real deal boy signifies authentic talent that transcends college flash. Focusing on Skattebo's 6.3 yards per carry average in that Peach Bowl, his ability to absorb hits with 13 forced missed tackles, and his multifaceted contributions with rushing, receiving, and passing touchdowns. By saying, he run the ball like he belonged in the NFL, this ties directly to Skattebo's Giants role, where he wore down defenses like the Eagles with similar grit, scoring 3 touchdowns in that Week 6 upset with the same punishing style. And speaking of punishing styles, let's talk about what a former cornerback turned analyst had to say. Bryant McFadden. Bryant McFadden, 2-time Super Bowl champion cornerback with the Pittsburgh Steelers and current CBS sports analyst, knows a thing or two about what makes running backs unstoppable from the defensive perspective. After watching Skattebo's 3-touchdown breakout against the Eagles on October 9th, 2025, McFadden delivered his verdict on CBS Sports HQ with nostalgic enthusiasm. He declared, "Cam Skattebo runs the football the old-fashioned way. He's a 1980s-style running back, downhill, physical, no dancing. You see him in that Eagles game, just plowing through arm tackles like it's 1985. That's unstoppable in today's NFL. defenses aren't used to that grit anymore. Now that is what I call a throwback compliment. McFadden's core lauding centers on Skattebo's no-frills, contact-embracing approach, contrasting it with the lateral agility of modern backs like Christian McCaffrey. By invoking the 1980s style, McFadden referenced an era of power runners like Walter Payton and Eric Dickerson, who prioritized north-south momentum over east-west jukes, a direct nod to Skattebo's 4.6 yards per carry average and league-leading 8 of 10 third and 1 conversions before his injury. On that Thursday night against Philadelphia, Skattebo rushed for 98 yards on 18 carries at 5.4 yards per carry, generating 48 yards after contact and forcing 12 missed tackles. McFadden highlighted how this plows through arm tackles style, particularly a third quarter run where Skattebo shed 2 Eagles defenders for a 14-yard gain en route to his second touchdown, exposed a top 5 run defense. As a former defensive back who faced power backs like Jerome Bettis in AFC North battles, McFadden spoke from experience. Power backs wear down secondaries, much like Skattebo's physicality drew double teams and freed rookie QB Jackson Dart for big strikes in that game. And speaking of Jackson Dart, their partnership caught the eye of another NFL legend, Drew Brees. Drew Brees, Super Bowl champion, 80,358 career passing yards, and one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever do it, knows what it takes to will a team to victory. So when he saw Cam Skattebo's post-draft rookie minicamp interview in early May 2025, where the running back declared his determination to prove himself at the pro level, Brees felt compelled to share it. He reposted Skattebo's clip on his Instagram story with the concise yet enthusiastic endorsement, "Attitude, baby, I love this dude." Now those 5 words, including that playful triple Y, might seem simple, but coming from Drew Brees to his 1.2 million Instagram followers, it carried serious weight. Brees' emphatic "Attitude, baby, I" celebrated Skattebo's fiery post-minicamp remarks where the rookie said, "I've proved what I am in college, but I've proved nothing at this level. I have to prove myself." In NFL lore, attitude is shorthand for that intangible grit that separates good from great, echoing Brees' own journey from a second-round pick dismissed for his 6-foot stature to a Hall of Fame lock. This lauded Skattebo's unstoppable mindset, that fearless, prove-it drive that fueled his college dominance where he finished 5th in 2024, Heisman voting, and translated to NFL physicality with 4.6 yards per carry and tackle-breaking runs before his injury. Brees' casual "I love this dude" signaled genuine fandom rather than obligatory hype, humanizing the praise from a quarterback who thrived on complimentary backs like Pierre Thomas, as a player who valued backs who lift the team like Alvin Kamara later in his Saints career. Brees implicitly praised Skattebo's culture-shifting spark, but if you think that was impressive, wait until you hear what an Eagles linebacker had to say after facing Skattebo. Zack Baun. Zack Baun, third-year linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles with 45 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and a forced fumble through 8 games in 2025, got a first-hand education in what makes Cam Skattebo unstoppable on October 9th. In that 34-17 Giants upset, Baun was directly victimized by the rookie's physical dominance, getting bulldozed on consecutive plays in the second quarter, a 12-yard red zone run, where Skattebo lowered his shoulder to flatten the 6'3", 225-pound linebacker, followed by a headbutt truck stick for his second touchdown that left Baun sprawled on the turf. After the game, in the Eagles' locker room, Baun delivered a candid assessment that highlighted the rookie's deceptive toughness. He told reporters, "Cam Skattebo is one of those guys you watch on film and say, 'Damn, he runs hard,' but you really don't know until you play him." Let me translate that for you. Baun is saying that all the film study in the world can't prepare you for the reality of Skattebo's physicality when it hits you in the chest. This sentiment acknowledges Skattebo's college reputation: 1,711 rushing yards and 21 touchdowns at Arizona State in 2024, plus Peach Bowl MVP with 150 rush yards, translating explosively to the NFL. But it elevates it by noting the intangibles only felt live: his pad-level drop, hip swivel to shed arm tackles, and explosive leg drive that turned Baun's 10-tackle effort, including a sack, into a personal highlight reel defeat. Even in defeat, Baun conceded Skattebo's visible intensity, that signature style of seeking contact rather than evading it, traits that earned him Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year honors and comparisons to Marshawn Lynch. For Baun, a special teams ace turned starter and 2024 Pro Bowl alternate, this validated Skattebo's preparation where film shows the hustle at 4.6 yards per carry average, but live hits reveal the toll, and Skattebo's Giants teammates felt that energy every single day. Tyrone Tracy Jr. Tyrone Tracy Jr., second-year Giants running back who rushed for 827 yards as a rookie in 2024, found himself sharing the backfield with Cam Skattebo during the 2025 season, and the synergy was undeniable. Tracy has been effusive in his praise for the rookie, particularly after Skattebo's Week 5 3-touchdown explosion. Tracy emphasized, "His attitude is one of the main things. Doesn't matter if you're 6'6" or you're a safety, it's a price to pay when you're going to tackle Cam Skattebo." Now that quote right there encapsulates what makes Skattebo unstoppable. It's not just the physical ability, it's the mental edge, that fearless mindset, where he treats every tackle as a challenge regardless of defender size. During training camp in late July, Tracy praised their complementary styles, noting, "The man is strong and powerful. I'm more slippery and elusive, but he can do really anything, just like I can do really anything." This thunder and lightning dynamic, Tracy's 4.5-second 40-yard dash, speed paired with Skattebo's bruising runs, created a balanced attack that wore down defenses. But here's where it gets emotional. After Skattebo's gruesome season-ending ankle dislocation against the Eagles on October 26th, Tracy revealed the rookie's incredible leadership even in agony. He recounted, "After he got hurt, he's the one actually yelling from the cart, 'Let's fucking go. Let's do this. Let's do it. First thing I did was pray.'" Now that right there shows you what kind of warrior Cam Skattebo is, cart-bound with a compound fracture, and he's still trying to fire up his teammates. Tracy, who stepped up with 10 carries for 39 yards after the injury, credited this selflessness for keeping the offense afloat, calling Skattebo the heart of our backfield. And if you think Tracy was the only teammate raving about Skattebo, you haven't heard from the offensive line yet. Jermaine Eluemunor. Jermaine Eluemunor, 30-year-old veteran offensive tackle with 75 career starts and a stabilizing force on the Giants' right side in 2025, has been one of Cam Skattebo's most vocal supporters in the locker room. After the Week 6 upset over Philadelphia, Eluemunor delivered what might be the greatest compliment of them all when he told the New York Post, "Scat is a f***ing wild card. With him and Dart in the huddle, they are both psychopaths." Now that is what I call affectionate chaos. Eluemunor's profane psychopaths label wasn't criticism. It was praise for Skattebo's chaotic, all-out approach as a positive force. It references moments like that second quarter truck stick on Zack Baun for a touchdown, where Skattebo's wild card, unpredictability, mixing power runs with receiving threats, forced 12 missed tackles and open passing lanes for Dart, who threw for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. As a lineman with a 78.4 pass block win rate, Eluemunor values that energy for sinking the unit. His blocks created the 5.4 yards per carry average that transformed a zapped locker room into believers. In an NFL on CBS interview, Eluemunor emphasized, "We need him to be who he is. He's energizing this entire team with the way he's playing." That energizing presence, his backflips, headbutts with Dart, and effort on every snap brought what teammates called the juice to a Giants team desperate for identity. But after Skattebo's devastating injury, Eluemunor's words carried even more weight when he declared, "He's irreplaceable. Mentally, he's one of the toughest guys I've been around. If anyone can come back from an injury like that and be even better, it's him." Speaking of that rookie duo, let's talk about the quarterback who elevated his game alongside Skattebo. Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart, the Giants' first-round pick at number 10 overall out of Ole Miss, has formed an inseparable bond with Cam Skattebo since taking over as starter in Week 4. Their Blues Brothers chemistry was on full display in that Week 6 Eagles upset, and Dart's post-game comments revealed just how much he values his running back. In a jubilant on-field interview with Amazon Prime's Ryan Fitzpatrick, Dart gesticulated wildly while declaring, "I mean, he's crazy, bro. He's crazy, but he's a baller, man. Us coming in here, we're really just trying to change the culture of intensity. He played his ass off tonight. I love him." Now that he's crazy repetition captures Skattebo's wild, contact-embracing abandon, like that second quarter truck stick on Zack Baun, while baller affirms his elite execution at 5.4 yards per carry against a top 5 run defense. This wasn't mockery, it was endearment from a quarterback who thrives on Skattebo's yards after contact, which lightened boxes for Dart's passes. Their shared mission to change the culture of intensity echoed throughout the Giants' locker room, with teammates like Tyrone Tracy Jr. calling Skattebo's effort infectious. But here's where it gets heartbreaking. After Skattebo's season-ending injury in the Week 8 rematch, Dart was devastated, telling reporters in a somber locker room scrum, "I was devastated. It's the worst part of this game. He's my brother out there. We've got to turn this into fuel for the rest of the season." That "my brother" reveals vulnerability, contrasting Week 6's joy with Week 8's agony after Skattebo caught an 18-yard touchdown pass from Dart just minutes before the fracture on a hip drop tackle. But the praise wasn't limited to just players. Analysts had plenty to say too. Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce, retired Philadelphia Eagles center, 6-time All-Pro, and Super Bowl LII champion, who now co-hosts the New Heights podcast with brother Travis, found himself in an interesting position after the Giants upset his Eagles on October 9th. Despite being a lifelong Eagles fan and former NFC East Warrior against the Giants, Kelce couldn't help but praise Cam Skattebo's performance on the October 15th episode of New Heights. He admitted, "This guy, Skattebo, reminds me a little bit of Ezekiel Elliott. Like, there's an enthusiasm and an energy about him that is just fun to watch." Now, coming from a Philly legend, that Ezekiel Elliott comparison is peak praise. Elliott was known for his passionate, hard-charging runs and sideline intensity during his Cowboys prime. Kelce lauded Skattebo's enthusiasm and energy as fun to watch, tying it to game footage like that second-quarter truck stick on Zack Baun for a 12-yard touchdown. But Jason didn't stop there. Expanding on the energy disparity in a follow-up segment, he called Skattebo a fucking reincarnation of a human dog if I've ever seen one, explaining how his old-school grit, seeking contact and fighting for yards, ignited the Giants' linemen and sideline. As a former center who blocked for backs like LaShawn McCoy, Kelce appreciates how that energy feeds off blocks, creating a feedback loop that frustrated Philadelphia by allowing 150 rushing yards, their season worst. The profane, vivid human dog celebrates Skattebo's dogged mentality, fighting for every inch with no dancing, echoing Kelce's own Eagles ethos of execution, fueling emotion. And speaking of the Kelce brothers, Travis had his own thoughts about this rookie sensation. Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs superstar, tight end, and 3-time Super Bowl champion with 10,889 receiving yards through 2025, joined his brother Jason on the October 15th episode of New Heights to discuss the Giants' shocking upset. Despite being an Eagles fan through his brother, Travis couldn't contain his enthusiasm for the rookie duo. He exclaimed, "These dudes just love some ball, man," while reacting to Skattebo and Dart's viral post-game Blues Brothers photo, that shirtless midfield pose that garnered 10 million plus views. Travis's casual love some ball opener celebrates Skattebo's unfiltered passion, evident in his backflips after touchdowns, and that iconic photo that Travis called capturing NFL dreams realized. As a player who's thrived on fun with his own touchdown celebrations, rivaling Skattebo's, Travis lauds this as unstoppable fuel. Skattebo's 5.4 yards per carry against stacked boxes wore down defenders, creating explosive plays for Dart's 242 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Responding to Jason's Ezekiel Elliott comparison, Travis hyped Skattebo's physicality even more. "Man, these Giants rookies got that dog in them. Skattebo and Dart, they're out there playing like it's recess but hitting like it's the playoffs." That dog reference, NFL slang for grit and killer instinct, directly praises Skattebo's contact-seeking runs, like the 14-yard touchdown shedding 2 Eagles defenders. Echoing his own dog persona from trash-talking Tom Brady, Travis highlights how Skattebo's recess playstyle belies playoff-level hits, translating his Arizona State dominance to the pros. Now let's talk about what the hottest analyst in sports media had to say about Skattebo. Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, the outspoken ESPN analyst and host of First Take, who's built a career on passionate, unfiltered takes, was blown away by Cam Skattebo's Peach Bowl performance on January 1st, 2025. On the January 2nd episode of First Take, Smith broke down Skattebo's Herculean all-around display against Texas, 150 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions for 82 yards and a score, and a 22-yard touchdown pass on a trick play with his signature fervor. He admitted his prior ignorance before declaring, "This brother was something special. It was a dominant performance. I gotta admit to you, I was like, who is this guy? And then I watched him yesterday, and I said, man-child, man amongst boys." Now that candid, "who is this guy?" humanizes Smith's endorsement, positioning Skattebo as an underdog revelation, much like Stephen A's own takes on overlooked gems like Lamar Jackson. This sets up the pivot to AW, underscoring Skattebo's explosion with 269 all-purpose yards and 3 total touchdowns against a top 3 Texas defense. The core phrase, man-child, man amongst boys, elevates Skattebo to mythical status, blending youthful explosiveness with adult power, prophetic for his NFL unstoppable runs like the 3-touchdown dismantling of the Eagles. Smith emphasized, "He's a man amongst boys." He was absolutely sensational, celebrating Skattebo's all-phase heroics, including the trick play touchdown that forced overtime. This aligns with Smith's love for warriors who will their teams to victory, foreshadowing Skattebo's culture-changing role with the Giants. But if you want analytics to back up all this hype, let's talk about Warren Sharpe. Warren Sharpe, renowned NFL analytics expert and founder of Sharpe Football Analysis, has been singing Cam Skattebo's praises from day one of his Giants tenure. Sharpe's initial enthusiasm emerged on April 26, 2025, upon Skattebo's draft selection, tweeting, "Cam Skattebo to the Giants, a true workhorse with massive explosive power and a perfect fit for the Giants," accompanied by a draft night video clip. This hyped Skattebo's arrival as a solution to the Giants' league-worst red zone rushing efficiency of negative 1.02 EPA per rush inside the 5-yard line in 2024. Sharpe's analytics lens, using predictive EPA models, foreshadowed Skattebo's 4.6 yards per carry and top rookie short yardage efficiency. After Skattebo's Week 6 explosion, Sharpe celebrated with the perfect tweet. Cam Skattebo's season-long rushing TDs was 3.5 TDs 3 tonight, and 5 rushing TDs this year cashes in Week 6 what an animal. Alongside, Eagles have the tush push, Giants have Cam Skattebo. A cheeky comparison to Philly's signature QB sneak that underscored Skattebo's short yardage prowess with 100% conversion rate pre-injury. But Sharpe's most comprehensive laudation came hours after Skattebo's season-ending injury on October 26th, when he posted, "Absolutely loved watching Cam Skattebo this year, played every snap as hard as he could, and his love for the game was evident. Some weren't sure if his success would translate from college, but he kept running dudes over in the NFL too. Get better soon." This tribute, shared with a highlight montage, summed up Skattebo's rookie arc and amassed 12,000 plus likes, resonating league-wide. And speaking of league-wide resonance, let's talk about what the king of sports media had to say. Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, former Indianapolis Colts punter turned ESPN analyst and host of The Pat McAfee Show, has been a vocal champion of Cam Skattebo since his dominant 2024 college season at Arizona State. McAfee first spotlighted him on College Game Day before the Peach Bowl, fixating on Skattebo's physical build with characteristic humor. He stated,
"I can't stress it enough. I talk about it because it matters. Those who have that shape of head and that size are built for football. It is mesmerizing to watch this guy work."
Now McAfee's recurring gigantic head motif, joking at rattled helmets, was affectionate ribbing that lauded Skattebo's helmet-rattling leverage as an evolutionary edge. This impossible-to-tackle core referenced Peach Bowl runs where he shed 13 tackles for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. After the draft, on May 8, 2025, McAfee celebrated Skattebo as a draft narrative changer for the Giants, stating, "New York Giants fans are going to absolutely love Cam Skattebo. He's a piece of a Giants draft that totally changed the narrative on how their fan base looks at their front office." As a former Colt, he envisioned New York embracing his swag, backflips, and headbutts with Dart. But McAfee's crowning moment came after the Eagles' upset when he amplified Adam Schefter's guest take, dubbing Skattebo Bam Bam Cam Skattebo, and declaring, "Cam Skattebo runs like he's a character out of the Flintstones. You can start calling him Bam Bam Cam Skattebo." That Flintstones analogy celebrates Skattebo's cartoonish power, barreling like Bam Bam rubble through defenders, calling him the human tush push for goal line inevitability. Thank you all for staying tuned. We've come to the end of this video. To enjoy more of such content, click on the card showing on the screen.